Dethklok is a band that doesn't exist. That's the first thing you need to know. None of us exist. Secondly, this is derived from a television show called Metalocalypse, which was premiered on Adult Swim, I think in 2006. And so it's a show that I write and I do the voices for and I do the music for it. So and I'll direct and I'll score it too. So there's a lot of fun stuff to do. It's got a lot of episodes that are available. There's a lot of music and a lot of records that come out that are, and then what happened was, making the show, we noticed it was doing well and there was an audience there. And so I thought, okay, if this is doing well, I'd like to be able to make a record. And if I make a record, how am I going to tour the record? And I thought, what did the Gorillas do? They had like animation playing and then they were like kind of behind a scrim. And I thought, okay, I don't want to be behind a scrim. I think we should be connecting with the audience, but we should also kind of like be the pit band. There should be a ballet when the pit band's on stage, basically. The ballet is the gigantic screen that we have behind us, which is a movie theater size screen. Is we bring this glowing gigantic TV into every venue, and we played a picture, and the way and we play in lockstep with the picture too. So every downbeat is coinciding with the cut, and you get this really wonderful synergy. The feeling that I'm trying to go for when we do these shows is like being at an amusement park, like Universal Studios or something like that, and the Terminator 2 ride or something like that, where you've got a good guy, you got a bad guy, you've got booze, yay, all that stuff, and it's funny, and there's sketches in between, and we have a band that is incredibly talented. We have Gene Hoglan on drums, Gene from Death, Dark Angel, Testament, Strapping Young Lad, so many different things. He's touring with Death to All, bringing death back and he just got back. Anyway, he's one of the great drummers of the planet, and he is the guy for this job because he is so dead on. He's the atomic clock. Like I said, every downbeat and every cut has to coincide, and we have to be this big. We have to play perfectly every single night for this to
Yeah.
really work. And so it's a really fun challenge. I'm on vocals, I'm on guitar. But the whole thing is, I don't look like the characters. None of us look like the characters from the show, but we sound exactly like them. So the idea is we're not in the spotlight, we're backlit. You kind of notice us, we almost look more like stagehands. The real show is behind us. And so yeah, we bring a TV into your concert and we played a picture and we hypnotize the audience and they are all smiling and moshing and burning calories out there. But
I
it's really fun and there's nothing like it. I don't know any other show that gets to do this. And we're touring this time. We're going to meet up in San Francisco for 2 nights with Baby Metal,
mhm.
which is a continuation of a tour that we did this past fall. We couldn't go to San Francisco because we had done a show nearby at a festival. So, which was a bummer to us because I grew up near there and I wanted to really do a show, especially this show over there. And it had been a while since we've toured. So the reason we're doing all this stuff right now is because we made a movie that came out this past fall just on demand, and now it's premiering tonight actually on Adult Swim at midnight, and
Okay.
then it drops on Max. If you have the streaming app Max, it'll be dropping there tomorrow on the 6th, and on the 7th we start out with Necrogoblicon and Dragon Force, and we pick up Baby Metal only for those two shows in San Francisco. So this will not be happening anywhere else, exclusive only to San Francisco, which is again very exciting. Plus, I haven't seen Baby Metal in about 6 months, and
Yeah.
we all get along really well, and it's going to be really fun to be sharing the stage with them.
Yeah. I actually saw them at Aftershock last year. And
Oh yeah, so we were
yeah,
at Aftershock
yeah.
also, but obviously completely different
Different.
times.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
amazing. They're absolutely amazing. We had such a great time touring with them because they put on a show, we put on a show, and they throw down every night. We throw down every night,
Yeah.
and we do something very similar. We're both project bands, but we also do something very different. And our goal is to make sure that this is the best show you saw all year, and you
Yeah.
tell all your friends about it.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm just thinking if you're directing, you're acting, you're playing,
Yeah.
you must sleep standing up. That's I just don't see
No, no,
why
no.
tired.
I sleep in and I'm lazy, but anytime I do any of this stuff, I really make sure that I accept the challenge and it's really fun. And I usually, these all these projects start because I shot my mouth off and I said, "Hey, I'd really like to do this and I really like to do that." And even though it's going to be complicated, I think it's going to be really cool. And then I go, "Okay, and I don't even know if I'm losing sleep or anything like that. It's just the work is being able to do this work and the opportunity to be able to write, to direct, to act, to score with like there's a whole score album that came out with Dethalbum IV, which is the record we just put out. So there's Dethalbum IV, the movie Army of the Doomstar, and the Army of the Doomstar soundtrack where I got to record with a Budapest orchestra
Wow.
and score, like do a proper film score. And again, I'm a musician. I went to music school,
Mhm.
and while I was at music school, I was studying writing at Emerson College. So these are the things I like, and the way I look at it is that it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
Acting, writing, directing, it's all storytelling. Playing guitar, it's all storytelling. They're all in aid of telling a bigger picture story.
And it's such a unique experience. I watched the a couple of episodes last night when they did the commercial for coffee.
Mhm.
That was, I think, the first episode, but
That's the first episode, yeah.
yeah, and because I like I said, I'd heard of, but I'd never watched the show, so I watched about three or four last night, and I just thought this is such a unique experience that people need to come out and see it because, like you said, you're in lock and step with the screen with the because you guys are silhouetted, but you're not them, and so I'm looking forward to. I'm going to be there on the 25th, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. I live in Sacramento, but
Yeah.
I'm driving there for that, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. So it'll
Yeah, it's
be
gonna be fun. I think you'll
yeah,
enjoy it. I think you'll have a good time. That's something I say with confidence because the idea with this project also, even though it's like a trifecta, we've got, the kind of the TV show, now in this case, the movie, which is the elevated, super elevated, bigger, more expensive, more exciting looking kind of version of the TV show. We've got the big, big finale movie. We've got the records and we've got the live performance. And my goal is to make each one of them stand alone
yeah.
on their own so that if you don't know if it's a TV show and you just saw us live, you go, what is this? I've
Yeah.
never seen this before. This is exciting. Same with the movie, same with the record. So that's the idea. Can each one of them stand on their own and be their own thing? And every time I get back together and rehearse with these guys, I think, yeah, oh my God, I don't know which one's the strongest, but it might be the live performance. It really is really fun. So it's a really good time. As long as I'm doing this, I don't know how much longer I'm going to do this, but I've got something to promote right now. So it's
Yeah.
a really good excuse to kind of go out there and go enact in this bonkers brain puzzle every night that I have to do on stage, singing and playing guitar at the same time. It's a real brain puzzle for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm guessing it's probably interactive. The audience gets to kind of participate too, or is it just, I mean, or
Well, I
there's so
mean,
much to see.
it's their job to show up with really bonkers energy, and that's
Yeah,
all we need from them. But yeah, I mean, every show is participatory, I think, to a degree, and but it's their job just to show up and be entertained like crazy. And you can stand in the back of the room, you can like be crazy in the front. Just show up because you're not going to see anything else like it.
yeah, no, absolutely. Do the personalities of the musicians do they match up with their characters at all, or does
Fortunately.
one form the other?
Fortunately, no. But you know what's funny is that there is something kind of and I've heard this from a lot of bands, professional bands, that there is like, a murder face inside of their band. There is somebody who's like this guy over here, or like that. So
Yeah,
whether or not we were trying to create archetypes, there are some kind of behavioral kind of truisms that happen as a result of being a creative collaboration. So
yeah,
if you're like in a writer's room with other creative people, someone takes on some role. Someone's got to be negative. Someone's got to be positive. Someone's got to be the funny person. Someone's got to be like the self-serious person. And so we find that does kind of like add up. But it's also based on just me observing, not necessarily musician, but anything in the creative world. Because this is ultimately, when you break down this show, it is a workplace comedy. It just so happens their job is an extreme metal band, and
yeah.
they all live together, and their home is their work life, and so they have to be creative and diplomatic amongst each other. But ultimately, they're a bunch of men, children who are trying to either desperately not trying to grow up or get through the day.
I think it was Murderface that said, "I play the bass so I don't have to get a job."
Yeah, yeah.
Um, And so, do you have like different instruments, different like when you go on, do you have a particular instrument that you use, a particular guitar, or are
Yeah.
there certain things that the members use and only just for this purpose, or?
I have an Explorer that my studio was robbed about a year and a half ago, and all my favorite guitars that I was preparing to make this record with were all stolen. So, but they didn't steal my fingers, which is good.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. So I've been on this big guitar exploration lately, but I have like kept, I mean, fortunately, one of the guitars that survived is one of my first Explorers that I recorded the first record with. And so that's coming with me on tour. And I just think it's got great mojo. It sounds great. It's a Gibson Explorer.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the coolest metal guitars of all time. I think popularized by James Hetfield more than anybody. I don't know. There are a lot of
Yeah,
people that play
right.
it, but I always think of Hetfield and I think about Metallica.
Yeah.
And I have that, and I got a really cool guitar that I'm also bringing in a Bossy. Tosin Abasi from Animals as Leaders has his own guitar company. I have one of those that I should start playing. So I have like the first part of the show, I've got so many downstrokes. I keep my guitar really low, and the second half of the show, I'm doing a lot more, lead
Uh-huh.
playing. So I have my guitar a little bit higher, and I'm playing the Abasi guitar. So it kind of makes a lot of sense
Yeah.
as I go through the show. And yeah, I'm kind of still searching out for a bunch of guitars that I love to play, but I've gotten a couple cool ones. Here's one that my buddy Nick Johnston sent me. Nick Johnston is one of the greatest guitar players out there right now, and he sent me one of his models, which is a Schecter
Yeah.
with like a special kind of like
That's beautiful.
a super strat mod thing, but it's really awesome, and a couple others. So I don't know. I'm also, I love like guitars. Some of them are like Cadillacs to me, like classic cars, and some of them
Right.
are like modern race cars, and I love them all. There's like no guitar I will say no to. I just love guitar.
Yeah. That's fantastic. That's
Yeah,
fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing the show on the 25th.
it's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. How long does the tour go? It's April 7th through mid-May, or
Yes, like no, it's we're doing like 20 dates,
okay.
Like I said, this is kind of like a continuation, an addendum to what we did last year. So like I said, we're going to be in kind of not the hugest markets except for San Francisco. That's the only one big market thing, and the rest of it is like we're sneaking around to all these places that we haven't seen and saying hi to all these people. So for us, it's going to be really fun. And like I said, we're going out with Necrogoblicon and Dragon Force. So it's going to be dragons, goblins, and Dethklok all together. And I think that
Oh,
combination is going to be a lot of fun. And then Baby Metal will be there too, joining us. So that I think was just going to be totally bonkers.
like the icing on the cake there. So that's
Yeah, it's going to be great.
okay. Well, is there anything you want to leave with the fans that wanted to have me interview you? Is there any burning surprises coming up, or any secrets we can, shed
Well,
some light on?
the most exciting news I have is that this movie is going to be a lot more available to people by it airing tonight on Adult Swim, and then living on Max, and you can watch the whole entire series there from the entire series too. There's an hour-long rock opera we did before this, which is all music recorded with a 50-piece orchestra, and Jack Black and Mark Hamill and Malcolm McDowell all sing, and they're all in the movie. I mean, minus Jack Black, but Malcolm McDowell and Mark Hamill are in the movie. John Hamm's in the movie. Kirk Hammett's in the movie.
Oh,
Many
wow.
more. Scott Ian, Thundercat, Amy Lee from Evanescence makes
Yeah.
an appearance. It's a bunch of really fun stuff. So it's always like, to me, this show has always been kind of a gift to myself when I was 14 years old,
Yeah.
discovering the guitar. And I always think that's who I'm going for, is me when I was a kid,
Hmm.
learning about metal, carving out my personality through the music I chose, and so I always thought, wouldn't it be cool if there were a show like this when I was that age? And that where the guitar playing is actually accurate. And the cool thing is, it's been so long since the show came out that I think I have another interview, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. I should.
Yeah, no problem. But but I think it's so funny. So much time has passed. Those kids are now like in their 30s
Right.
that were that age when the show came out, and I see them now, and it works. I
Yeah.
got into their head
Yeah.
somehow, and
Yeah.
it really is great. And they're coming out to these shows now, and it's really cool to see them grow up and embrace music
Yeah.
and have a relationship with an instrument and all that stuff. I love it all. It makes me happy to see people get creative because of something else. So that to me is the ultimate wonderful gift. I'm so lucky to be doing this. I have so much fun playing guitar. I love it. I have fun with this band. They're so good. And the crew that we work with is so great. Everyone's a professional and everyone's happy to be doing this. And that's really great. Morale's always pretty high.
Well, Brendon, I appreciate your time. I know you got another interview, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
let you go. But I like those words of wisdom, and I will get this out shortly, and I will send an email out to my newsletter subscribers about tonight with Adult Swim, so they don't miss it.
awesome. Oh, cool. Thank you very much.
Sure, and I'll be there on the 25th, and I'm looking forward to it. So thank you so much for your
Very
time.
cool.
All
Thanks for
right,
taking interest. I'll see you later.
all
Bye.
right, take